We wanted him to be kind of sexy, you know, with a deep dark tan.
Well, now that is a very small drop in a very, very large bucket of drugs.
What's up, Walton Goggins?
Ash, Entertainment Tonight. Lovely to see ya.
Lovely to see you. I gotta give the official thumbs up for Fallout. I love it.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Fallout has a dedicated fan base, and I know people are really excited for this show. And video game adaptations used to have this kind of curse about them where they're really hard to adapt, but I think that's been broken lately, like with Pedro and The Last of Us, and of course Fallout's amazing. What was the most important thing for you guys to get right, and what do you think makes Fallout work?
Well, to be in service of the game, right? To have that as a guidepost, but not carry the weight or the mantle of getting everything right. To take the license to create a new experience that fits in the Fallout canon, right? I think that was kind of the main thing. There are the humor, which is satirical and subversive, is built into the DNA of the game. That is what our, this experience is predicated on. There are choices that the characters make, moral choices that can turn them from a protagonist to an antagonist, and then back to a protagonist constantly. That's inherent in the game. And just the visuals, like this lived-in quality of this world, as if it's been existing for 200 years and it wasn't just built in order to make a television show about it. Everyone really kind of had that in mind, and it's a tactile experience for a reason. These are practical locations, and whenever given the opportunity to do that, Jonah did that every time.
Hello there. I'm here to show you a wonderful place.
You're playing this really complex character that you're essentially almost playing two characters, because we meet the man before he was the Ghoul, and then we meet him 200 years later, and so much has clearly happened between these time periods. So what was it like to kind of go between those two characters, or those two times in his life?
Complicated. I mean, the days I was the Cooper Howard, my call time was much later because I didn't have to put on all that makeup, right?
Yeah.
No, it was, so much of that work was done for me before the cameras even rolled. I really needed to understand who Cooper Howard was and what his world was like in order to understand what the Ghoul has lost, right? And what that pain would be like, what it would feel to carry that around for 200 years, and really what's motivating him to go on, because it is a decision. He does decide, and he has decided every single day to keep going, and that says a lot about itself. What was really, I say, a lot of fun. It took a lot of work, but deciding kind of what are the similarities between these two people, and how are they bridged over time, and then what are the differences? Well, the differences are pretty obvious, and the lack of humanity. But there is a sense of humor that bridges that time. There is a hopefully on some level of humanity that is left within the Ghoul. You'll see as the story kind of progresses. There is a practical kind of, when I say a can-do attitude, I don't mean the way that it's used to describe Lucy, but a person that probably, I know the answer to this question, so I don't want to tell you my answer, but probably came from rural America and has some grit about him and can solve problems. Is not the smartest guy in the room, but he understands, practical, has a practical knowledge about the world that has served him very, very well. Then, and the way that he's moved through his life as Cooper Howard, and then now. And there is a charisma between both men that I think bridges time.
You do feel a lot of humanity. I feel like Luke Skywalker looking at Darth Vader. I'm like, I can fix him. I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
you described that you were going for oddly hot for
Yeah,
the
we
Ghoul,
all
and I have
we
to
all
say,
talked about it.
accomplished.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, that was a big part of the discussion. Yeah, we wanted him to be kind of sexy, you know, with a deep dark tan.
You gotta be kidding me.
I've always wanted to ask you this question. So, because I was on this weird campaign for this, you were briefly in one of my favorite movies when I was growing up, which was called The Next Karate Kid.
Does that mean anything goes, Colonel Dugan?
I had this little campaign because I really wanted you to show up on Cobra Kai, and I'm curious if you were ever approached about doing that.
I was never approached about doing Cobra Kai. No. And the thing about that movie, I mean, I was 20 years old, 21 years old when I did that. It was such a long time ago. And the story behind it, very quickly, it was down to me and the guy who got the role, Michael Cavallari, to play the bad guy in that thing. We did it 4 times. The last audition was in Jerry Weintraub's office with Chris Kane, the director. I was a little kid. I'd seen Warren Beatty that day on the lot, which was a big deal. And I went in first, and I killed it. And I was just looking at him like, you may as well go home. Michael went in second, and then I heard him screaming from inside the room. He got the job, right?
Oh my
I didn't get
God.
it. So I didn't ask for anything. I just, coming from where I come from, you just go on. And I started walking off the set, or walking off the lot, and that's when I saw Warren Beatty, and he said, "It's okay, kid. It's all right." He saw the devastation on my face. I went to my Thieves Market, this job that I had selling boots on Wilshire Boulevard in Santa Monica. And I was there, mindlessly selling boots for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And I said, F it. I picked up the phone. There was no cell phones. Picked up the phone. Can I have the number for Warner Brothers? Called them. Said, can I have Jerry Weintraub's office? Sue, his assistant, picked up the call, and she said, Walton, oh my God, are you okay? And I said, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just wanted to see if I could talk to Chris and ask him something. And she said, hold on a second. Chris, is it okay? He jumps on the phone. And I said, Mr. Kane, listen, the best man got the job. I understand all of that. I just want to learn. I'm just here to learn. And I really enjoyed my time with you. I just wanted to see, is there any way that I could audition for the bad guy's best friend? And he said, you would do that? You called me to ask me that question, you would do that? And I said, yes, sir, I just want to learn. And he said, hold on a second. Jerry, got back on the phone 2 minutes later, the job is yours. You start work on Monday. And he gave me the job. And I went to, Boston for 3 months, and with Hillary and all the rest. And she's an old friend, and it was incredible, Whenever your heart's in the right place and you want to learn, there is no ego involved, man. Just tell a story, But that's
great.
Yeah.
That's why I'm in the Goggins gang. You're the best.
Hey, man. Lovely conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.